Hey Steelers fans, welcome back to the channel. We're here to break down some major developments for your Pittsburgh Steelers, and let me tell you, there's plenty to talk about. Before we dive in, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the black and gold. The Steelers are working hard to improve and bring success back to the Steel City, and your support helps us keep this conversation going. Now let's get to it. The quarterback position remains the talk of the town for Steelers Nation as we head into a critical 2025 offseason. The team faces major questions, with both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields becoming unrestricted free agents. Neither has locked themselves in as the clear long-term solution for Pittsburgh. Wilson started the bulk of the 2024 season, but his performance left much to be desired as the year wore on. While he brought veteran leadership and had a few solid moments early on, the 36-year-old's play regressed sharply down the stretch. Fans and analysts alike have questioned whether Wilson still has what it takes to lead a contending team. Fields, on the other hand, offered a tantalizing glimpse of his potential during the first 6 games of the season when Wilson was sidelined with a calf injury. The former Ohio State standout went 4-2 in that span, racking up 10 total touchdowns and only 2 turnovers. His ability to extend plays and make things happen with his legs has left many fans clamoring for his return. The Steelers now face a crossroads. Should they re-sign Fields and bet on his upside, or bring back Wilson as a steady veteran presence? Alternatively, General Manager Omar Khan could explore a fresh start altogether, either through the draft or free agency. Here's where things get even more interesting. If the Steelers decide to move on from one or both of their current quarterbacks, they'll need a reliable backup for whoever steps in as the 2025 starter. Enter Jimmy Garoppolo. The 33-year-old quarterback has been floated as a potential target for Pittsburgh by Steelers Now's Alan Saunders. Garoppolo, a former Super Bowl starter with the San Francisco 49ers, has seen his role diminish in recent years. After brief stints with the Las Vegas Raiders and Los Angeles Rams, he's now viewed as a backup rather than a starter. While Garoppolo is no longer the quarterback who led San Francisco to a Super Bowl in 2019, his experience and playoff pedigree make him an attractive option as a veteran backup. If the Steelers could land Garoppolo on a cheap deal, he'd provide stability and mentorship without eating into valuable cap space. However, let's make one thing clear. Garoppolo is not the answer as a starter. If Pittsburgh were to sign him, with the expectation of leading the offense, it would be a mistake. His days as a reliable starter are behind him, but as a backup, he's a savvy option that could pay dividends. Quarterbacks aren't the only thing on the table this offseason. Another massive decision looms around wide receiver George Pickins. The talented but sometimes controversial receiver is eligible for an extension this offseason, but the Steelers may choose to part ways instead. Trade rumors surrounding Pickins have been swirling for months, and now they're gaining serious traction. One intriguing option? A potential blockbuster deal with the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams find themselves in a period of transition, with key players like quarterback Matthew Stafford and wide receiver Cooper Kupp both nearing the end of their careers. NFL insider Ian Rappaport recently reported that Stafford is considering his future with the Rams. At 37 years old, he's coming off a solid season, but has made it clear he won't play for the $27.5 million he's owed in 2025 without a reworked contract. Kupp, meanwhile, has also been the subject of trade speculation. The former Super Bowl MVP has expressed his desire to keep playing, but with the Rams seemingly ready to rebuild, his future in Los Angeles is far from certain. Imagine this. The Steelers send Pickens and some draft picks to the Rams in exchange for Stafford and Kupp. This kind of deal would make sense for both sides. The Rams get younger at wide receiver with Pickens, who still has plenty of potential, while the Steelers receive 2 proven veterans who could make an immediate impact. For Pittsburgh, the move would signal a clear win-now mentality. Stafford, despite his age, would represent a significant upgrade at quarterback, and Kupp would provide a much-needed boost to the receiving core. Together, they could help the Steelers make a serious playoff push in 2025. The key to this trade. Working is financial flexibility. Stafford's contract would need to be restructured, and the Steelers would have to absorb Cup's sizable deal. However, the Rams' willingness to move on from their aging stars could make the draft capital involved more reasonable. This is where things get tricky. While acquiring Stafford and Cup would undoubtedly improve the Steelers' chances in the short term, it comes with risks. Both players are on the back end of their careers, and taking on their contracts could limit the team's ability to address other areas of need. On the flip side, moving on from Pickins could be addition by subtraction. While he's undeniably talented, his off-the-field issues have raised concerns about his long-term fit in Pittsburgh. If the Steelers aren't planning to extend him, trading him now makes sense to maximize his value. The 2025 offseason is shaping up to be a pivotal one for Pittsburgh. The decisions made in the coming months will have a lasting impact on the team's trajectory. Here's a quick recap of the options on the table. Re-sign Justin Fields. Bet on his upside and give him the chance to grow into the franchise quarterback. 2. Let Wilson walk. Avoid overpaying for a declining veteran who no longer fits the team's long-term plans. Sign a backup like Garoppolo. Add a reliable veteran presence without breaking the bank. Pursue a blockbuster trade. Make a bold move for Stafford and Cup to go all in for 2025. Rumors are swirling around Steelers quarterback Russell Wilson as we approach the offseason. NFL insider Ian Rappaport has reported that Wilson could be a strong candidate to join the Las Vegas Raiders in 2025. This move would reunite Wilson with Raiders head coach Pete Carroll, his longtime mentor and the coach he shared tremendous success with during their time together in Seattle. According to Rappaport, Wilson and Carroll have repaired their relationship after a public fallout led to Wilson's trade from the Seahawks to the Broncos in 2022. Carroll reportedly sees Wilson as a stopgap option for the Raiders while they figure out their long-term quarterback situation. But here's where it gets interesting. Wilson has made it clear that he wants to stay in Pittsburgh. After signing a one-year deal with the Steelers for the 2024 season, Wilson expressed his desire to finish his career in black and gold. "We've started talking a little bit about a new contract," Wilson said recently on the Pat McAfee show. "It's an exciting time. My goal is to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers for a long time and hopefully finish my career here. So what gives? Why is Wilson's name even being connected to the Raiders?" Let's take a closer look. To understand this situation, we need to revisit Wilson's career path. The former third-round pick started his NFL journey with the Seahawks in 2012, where he quickly became one of the league's top quarterbacks. Wilson led Seattle to 2 Super Bowl appearances, winning 1, and signed a 4-year, $140 million extension with the team in 2019. However, things took a sharp turn in 2022 when the Seahawks traded Wilson to the Broncos in a blockbuster deal. Denver was eager to make Wilson the face of their franchise, signing him to a massive 5-year, $245 million extension with $165 million guaranteed. Unfortunately, Wilson's time in Denver didn't go as planned. The partnership unraveled quickly, and the Broncos released Wilson after just 1 season, absorbing a record $85 million in dead cap. That's when the Steelers stepped in, signing Wilson to a 1-year deal for the veteran minimum. Wilson's first season in Pittsburgh was a mixed bag. He appeared in 11 games, completing 63.7% of his passes for 2,182 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. He also added 155 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Statistically, it wasn't a bad year for Wilson, but it wasn't enough to solidify him as the team's long-term solution at quarterback either. The Steelers, who had hoped Wilson could bring some stability to the position, now face a tough decision. On one hand, Wilson has expressed his commitment to the team and has begun contract negotiations. On the other, the Steelers have to weigh whether a 36-year-old quarterback is the best option moving forward, especially with questions about his durability and declining mobility. If Wilson were to leave Pittsburgh, the Raiders seem like a logical landing spot. Pete Carroll knows Wilson better than anyone and could design an offense to maximize his strengths. Additionally, The Raiders are in desperate need of a steady hand at quarterback after years of inconsistency. Wilson's experience and leadership could be invaluable for a team in transition. While he's no longer the dynamic playmaker he was in his prime, he could provide a bridge for the Raiders as they search for their quarterback of the future. From Wilson's perspective, reuniting with Carroll might be an appealing opportunity to recapture some of the magic they had in Seattle. It's no secret that Wilson thrives in systems where he has a strong relationship with his coach, and Las Vegas could offer him just that. The big question for Steelers Nation is, should Pittsburgh let Wilson walk or try to bring him back? Let's look at the pros and cons. Pros of keeping Wilson: veteran leadership. Wilson's experience is invaluable for a team with young talent. Stability. After years of uncertainty at quarterback, Wilson provides a known quantity. Locker room presence. Teammates have praised Wilson's work ethic and leadership. Cons of keeping Wilson. Age. At 36, Wilson's best years are behind him. Cap space. Even a modest deal for Wilson could limit the team's ability to address other needs. Performance ceiling. Wilson's numbers in 2024 were solid, but not spectacular, raising questions about his long-term viability. The Wilson situation is just one piece of the puzzle for Pittsburgh this offseason. The team also has to make decisions about wide receiver George Pickins, who has been the subject of trade rumors, and address other roster needs. If the Steelers decide to move on from Wilson, they'll need a new plan at quarterback. Whether that means re-signing Justin Fields, drafting a young signal caller, or exploring other free agent options, one thing is clear. The Steelers can't afford to miss on this decision. All right, Steelers Nation, now it's your time to weigh in. Do you think the team should re-sign Justin Fields or take a chance on someone new? How do you feel about the possibility of trading George Pickins for Stafford and Cup? And would you be open to bringing in Jimmy Garoppolo as a backup? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The Steelers are at a crossroads, and the moves they make this offseason will define the next chapter of the franchise. Whether it's rolling the dice on a young quarterback, signing a veteran backup, or pulling off a blockbuster trade, one thing is clear. Big changes are coming to Pittsburgh. Thanks for tuning in, Steelers fans. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your fellow fans. Together, we'll navigate this offseason and cheer our team on to brighter days. Until next time, here we go, Steelers.